A $5 super thanks from Travis Brown. This, by the way, came in before the DK Metcalf trade. He said he'd do a first and a third. Obviously ends up going for a second, which I don't think anyone else really offered a second for DK Metcalf. By the way, it was kind of a mid-late second that went to Pittsburgh there. The biggest issue with DK was having to pay him like almost $30 million per year. That turned a lot of people off. But I appreciate the super thanks, Travis. Even if we don't get to it on time, I did respond to it on time, but if we don't get to it on the show on time, we will still give you a shout-out. Any super thanks that comes in, as long as you're not committing an ism, you can say Tom F you, which someone did do one time, was very funny, frankly. We'll feature you on the show via the super thanks feature. $, the heart icon, edit your message, and send it in. James Tyson, think about drafting Connor Colby in the 5th round. I think he'd be a great fit for us. Cowboys still have several 5th-round picks, so you don't have to worry too much about like burning one. There's a lot of options there. That is the Iowa offensive guard. I have very few complaints about potentially adding a offensive guard in the 5th round. I have not finished my eval on him. I'm guessing 5th round would probably be about the right value, worst case. He did have pretty good testing with the NFL Combine. And for guards, I think that is at least valuable as a data point. Mighty Ant 0215. I trade back to late teens if there's a partner to get a 4th and take Jahdae Barron or Will Johnson if they're at 12 and let go of Dave this year because Graham thinks going to the Jags. That's my first round. Sorry, Tom. C+ mock draft. That's fine. If you can trade down and get whatever guy you want, that could be a defensive lineman, that could be a receiver, could be a corner, running back, whatever. If you trade down, get assets, I'm going to give you a lot more loot because I like trading down. I like getting more picks in general from a philosophical standpoint. I've got Barron and Johnson both in the 1st round. So I would be fully on board with that move. Jason Todaro, love the show and everything you do. Shout out to you guys. But I don't understand why everyone is so hyped about Tetairoa McMillan. I don't think he's the best receiver in this draft. He's a good player, but that hasn't played any good competition besides Travis Hunter and got locked down. He's supposed to be an NFL X, but has lazy release and routes, in my opinion. 7 drops for T-Max. This dude's going to be a bust at number 12. I see another Quentin Johnson in my eyes. The whole media on him, but this is not the move. I'd rather take Barron than him. He's slow with 7 drops. He's also, I forgot to mention, Todaro is a big fan of Matthew Golden. Now, we had a good conversation, by the way, so everyone, if you disagree, just be nice to Jason. Hunter didn't shadow Tet McMillan a lot. And there were 2 games between Tet and Hunter. One game he had good production against Colorado. One a little bit less, but he also drew 2 DPIs and had a pick, or had a catch, that touchdown catch, a really nice end zone one. I get it's not SEC competition, but it is Big 12 competition. I've seen McMillan be really freaking good for 2 years in a row. I think he moves better at his size than most people do. I don't know if he gets to you at 12. There aren't that many receiver-needy teams in the top half of round 1, so maybe he does. But I would be on board with T-Mac at 12. I think he is easy. He's a first-round grade for me. I like other receivers, too. I'm a big Burden fan relative to the recent buzz on him for some reason. But I would happily take T-Mac at 12. But I want to hear from you guys, too. Would you draft Tetairoa McMillan at number 12? Why for yes and for no? Let me know at the pinned comment of today's show if the ad comes here on YouTube. Take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. Joshua Orzek, however you pronounce it, Josh, I'm sorry. If Travis Hunter falls to 5, are there any hopes the Cowboys would trade up for him? Would you do it? And what would it take? It would probably cost you at least your 2nd round pick. The issue there is, like, in theory, Jacksonville is going to take Travis Hunter. So you're trying to get the team that's going to take him to trade down. So a minimum is going to cost you year 2 and probably more because the Jags want him to. So I'm not getting hopes for a 100 trade. I'd be happily surprised if it happened because I just don't foresee it happening. He's more likely to be gone at 4 at the latest. As for Charlotte Sanders in the 7th, I feel like he is a Dallas Cowboy. Or whatever team drafts Shedeur also drafts Shiloh. I don't know if Shiloh gets drafted. He might be an undrafted free agent. But 7th round is fine. You can draft Chris in the 7th round. It's a 7th rounder. It's not a bad pick. Austin Carey. Draft is going to be rough. Needs won't be filled. Faith in the first 3 rounds. No faith in round 2, given their history. No 4th this year, and that's after not star players that fill needs the way we need. Can't get a corner or nickel, or running back, interior D-line, edge, outside of Micah. Receiver 2 and a good linebacker. Maybe this came in before the linebacker moves. Maybe you feel better about that / some of your D-line stuff. Final with the O-line, though, I select a top 4-round pick there. Can't get that now with more important needs. I'm frustrated. At least the Cowboys said they were active in free agency and we're all in. SMH, clown emoji. It's rough being Dallas right now. I think that sums up a lot of the negative mindset, negative feelings towards the Cowboys. They did fill some of those needs, but my issue in general is like, yes, you have a defensive tackle and an edge and a guard. I wouldn't be opposed to adding a better talent there, but I also still have to fill nickel corner and receiver and running back, and those might be my first 3 picks right now. So am I going to get lucky with all my day 3 picks? Some, but not all of them. Name a player who you want the Dallas Cowboys to add. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. Any player, any team, drop that. I guess any X-team. Drop that player name for me in the comments of today's video. Aaron Gomez, how high would you take Amir Hampton if we trade down? The issue is, I think, like, Hampton's probably going to go, like, in the 20s, so you probably got to take him there. I don't know if I'd have a better player on the board at this point. That's kind of my mindset there with Amir Hampton. I don't know what the value would truly be. But he's a good player. I want to make that clear. DC Star, we did the shot for you. What do you think would be better in 2025, offense or defense? It's a good question. I don't know. So I lean towards the offense, but I think there's also uncertainty on both sides. And this assumes you get more of 2023 Dak and not 2024 Dak too. Is in to win. Took me a minute there. I say sign Chubb or Dobbins and draft a receiver. I'll say this. I think, like, for round 1, sure. Even if you sign Chubb and Dobbins, I still would like to go get a running back on day 2. Like, I think Javonte Williams and J.K. Dobbins, like, okay, but then I'm right back where I was last year needing a running back. I think that's a really good class. I would like to get one in this year's class. I think it's the value should be there at some point on day 2. From Chris, not the producer, good timing. Will Dallas draft a back? I'd be shocked if we got out of day 2 and the Cowboys didn't have a back. Like, they have a glaring need, and there's so much good talent. And maybe it's not round 1. That's fine. But round 2, round 3, I think they have to go down that route. I think they need it, and they have the options to. So what round do you think the Cowboys will end up drafting a running back? Let me know in the comments section of today's video. Caitlin Stevens, get Cup and draft at number 12, Mason Graham. If Mason Graham is there at 12, I am sprinting to the podium, and I'm getting a warning from the NFL to make sure I take up all of my time on the clock next year for audience perspective. That's a no-brainer. I don't think Mason Graham's getting to 12. I would be happily shocked if that happened. He's a top 5 guy for me in this class. I'd love it. I just don't think he's going to be there. Rajanic, sign Cam Robinson, try Terrence Steele at guard. I don't think Terrence Steele's game translates to guard. I don't want to try to move a nearly 6'7" tackle to guard. I don't. There's not a lot of good track record there. And Cam Robinson, honestly, they're different players. The attributes are more in pass protection for Robinson and run blocking for Steele. I don't think they're very different. Like overall talent levels. I'd just keep Terrence Steele at right tackle. Now, if you want to be a part of future Cowboys Report mailbags, hit that sub button. YouTube.com/CowboysTV. Free Cowboys videos every single day. And if you want to get on the mailbags, you can subscribe. That way you don't miss out on future shows. From Samuel, how many draft picks do we have? As of filming, so barring more trades, round 1, pick 12. Round 2, pick 44. Round 3, pick 76. Round 5, number 149. Round 5, 171 and 174, both comp picks. Round 6, number 204 from the Bills as part of the Kaiir Elam trade. Round 6, number 211, a comp pick. Round 7, number 239 from the Tennessee Titans. And round 7, number 247 as part of the Mingo trade. You've got 10 picks in this year's class. That figure has not changed. The where they're at has moved, but you have 10 picks still. Marcus Arnold, who would you trade up for, and what would you give up for the trade? I would need to see someone like, I need to see like somebody surprising fall down the board, like a Mason Graham, a Travis Hunter, an Abdul Carter, a guy that I have a top 5 grade on, gets to like pick 7 or 8. And I'm like, do you want my 3? Do you want my 3? Do you want a future 2? That's what I'd be trying to do. I don't think those things happen because in general, I don't like moving up. I would almost have more interest in on day 3, packaging 2 of my 5s or something and getting into the 4th round and adding I have a top 100 grade on. That could be really intriguing to me more than anything else. As a reminder, super thanks are available here on the channel. You can edit your message, send in whatever, and we'll feature you on future mailbags, even if you can't be a part of them live.